So we have another cold day in Warsaw, but also the atmosphere in Unique Fight Club is very hot, and thanks to a special guest, Alistair OVEREEM is here. Sir, it's a pleasure to have you here. Hello.
Happy to be here. Happy to be back in Poland. What can I say? Always a pleasure to come.
So it's not your first time in Poland, it's not your first seminar also in Unique Fight Club. How do you find striking skills of the group of people that you were working with today?
Well, getting better. Obviously, some of the participants were there on seminars before, and it's just always a good energy. Good to see Camille. Good to see all the other guys. Arek, the other coaches. So I'm just here sharing my knowledge, having a good time, and vibing with everybody.
Is it something that drives you, that people come to you to learn something more about MMA, about striking, about kickboxing and so on, about combat sports, but also they want to meet you, to talk with you, with a former champion, with a guy who is at the extreme big level of the sports?
Yeah, just very thankful. I mean, my first half, so to speak, of my life was competing, traveling the world, just following my heart. Yeah, and just living it. And now I experience the next phase, which is passing on the knowledge. Mm-hmm. I think it's much needed, right? Because a lot of my knowledge is health. Mm-hmm. And I think that it will resonate. And of course, the fight stuff is fun as well. Mm-hmm. But mainly my focus more is the lifestyle and the health part.
Yeah. After 25 years, you decided to retire from the sport, from being a professional fighter. But as I understand, this decision is connected with some things connected with health. So I would like to know more reasons about this decision and what with you next. What do you plan to do? What do you want to do? Do you feel that you want to stay in sport or maybe to do something else?
Well, I'm not going to be in the sport because I'm not fighting anymore. I'll help some fighters. Arek has a special spot in my circle. But other than that, I don't really plan on focusing too much on coaching. Mm-hmm. My main thing will be promoting health, raising this consciousness in the world on health, on longevity. I think I do this best by being the example. So I'm being healthy. I'm doing all the things that I talk about, all the resets, dopamine resets. I'm experimenting a lot with nutrition lately on my body. Mm-hmm. So what is the nutrition doing? If you only eat fruits for a month, what is happening? There's still not much data. Mm-hmm. I know other people that are doing similar, and that is a little bit my reference. This is how I also know that this is really the direction for me to go. And we'll see where it takes me. And in the meantime, I will share it with all you guys.
Mm-hmm. When did you start testing on yourself these healthy issues?
Long time ago. I think I was 16, 15 when I first went to McDonald's and I ate the hamburger and then I went to train. And I can tell you, if you do that, you will not train properly. Okay. So very early, at a very young age, I learned that McDonald's is poisonous and not beneficial to training in the gym. Opposite is when you're eating some fruit. Mm-hmm. If you eat like an orange or like an apple, you will train better. Mm-hmm. So very young I was when I learned those things. And I've just been experimenting with my body for the last 35 years.
Mm-hmm. Did you end it with eating meat or just eat less?
Significantly less and almost no meat. Mm-hmm. It is because of my wife. She's like, I ain't eating meat, but if it was up to me, I wouldn't eat any meat.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It has severe negative aspects to it. Okay. And if people understand these negative aspects, there will be less people eating meat. But people don't understand yet. So it is.
Okay, so how do you plan to spread this knowledge about health?
So there's actually a couple of initiatives. So the one is the phone addiction detox app. Mm-hmm. It's coming February 1st. So I'll be doing a tour in March in Poland. So I don't know what the tour will look like, but we want to go big. Great. So think of podcasts, national television, these kinds of things, all to boost the app. And then also I'm creating a health expo, big one. Mm-hmm. My plan is to create the biggest health expo the world has seen, and then every 2-3 months go to another city in the world to raise the world's consciousness on the field of health. Ice bath challenge. I'm working towards. Actually, just completed 1 hour in the ice. But I have a couple more steps. So step number 2 is the ice still here, because the ice was down there. Ice still here. Then I want to be submerged, 1 hour in the ice submerged. Then I want to maybe swim on Antarctica, something great. So these challenges are fun, right? Pushing myself and enjoying the process.
Do you have some sponsors or companies that are interested in developing this app with you?
Well, I mean, they'll come at some point, but I've up until now been doing by myself,
Okay.
which is fine. I mean, it's so fine.
Yes. Okay, so we know the direction. We know that you would like to spread this information, your knowledge about health, and that's clear for me. So you are not planning to coming back to sports. Your professional career is ended. So I think that you might be a great person to talk about some things that are happening in MMA and kickboxing nowadays. And I would like to ask you for about two topics. The first one is connected with UFC and USADA. We know that UFC decided to separate with the USADA, and since January they will be working with another organization connected with NHL, NBA or something. So the drug testing, anti-doping testing is not going to be ended, but there is a lot of talks, a lot of questions around this topic connected with Conor McGregor. Do you think that Conor McGregor issue, the one that he wants to come back, UFC wants him to come back, but USADA says, okay, you have to be 6 months in our anti-doping testing pool, and you are not. And do you think that that was the main reason to separate between those two organizations, UFC and USADA?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know the full details between this. I'm also not really interested in the details between this. To me, UFC is irrelevant, and Conor McGregor is also irrelevant. Both do not align with my own objectives, my own goals. My own goals is to promote health. I think both are not in this realm at all, right? Conor McGregor is just ego, fighting for himself, and the UFC is also just doing their thing. So to me, they're not interesting.
Okay. So looking in the past, just one question more about it. Do you think that this anti-doping policy or being okay with having some medicines that helps you regenerate, it's okay, or it should be banned?
I think that if you're going to have an anti-doping policy, I actually like USADA because they're honest, they're on the ball. To me, when this deal doesn't continue and another comes in, that leaves openings. So to me, I like USADA. To me, it was very pleasure. I got tested by them, I don't know, for 8 years or something, but previously I was tested also. So yeah, to me that is it's good because it creates level playing field. Now who knows what's happening, right?
Yeah, right. Okay.
Who knows what's happening with the Conor McGregor? Who knows?
Nobody knows. I think that Conor and McGregor.
Conor McGregor knows. Dana White knows, but nobody else.
Yeah,
so it's a little bit I don't know, but it's their situation and to me irrelevant.
Great. Okay. In the middle of this year, you were taking part in a national stadium at the KSW, a big event here in Poland. There were also some talks. We could read about it in media that there were some talks about you fighting for KSW. Was it marketing or there were any offers, a specific offer for a fight?
We were talking. They were in talks.
Okay.
That was June. Yeah, we were in talks for June, but nothing materialized.
Okay. Talking about KSW, I just want to ask you one question about the champion, the heavyweight champion, Phil de Vries. Do you think that he will dominate this division for more long time because he's a champion since 3 years, I think, and is there anybody in this division that could take his belt?
To be honest, not to be disrespectful to anybody, but I do not watch Phil de Vries' fights. I do not even know who's in the heavyweight division, so I'm not
Except
the best.
for Arek.
Except for Arek, he's my guy, he's my friend, right? But I don't really follow it all, so I don't really know. Yeah.
Okay.
So all due respect.
No problem. So let's talk about Arek. His next fight. This fight will be with a guy who has a good experience, a big experience in MMA, a bigger than Arek. Since this moment, Arek had, until this moment, Arek had 3 fighters in a row that were former kickboxers, and now he's fighting with a guy with a big background in MMA. What's your prediction for this fight with Vitasovic?
I think Arek's going to win. I have full confidence in the people around him, his team. I will be at the fight, by the way, January 20. So we're going to put maximum effort in, and Arek will win this fight.
Do you feel that his wrestling skills are developing?
Absolutely, and you can see it. And he's putting in the work, he's putting in the hours. I'm very proud of him because you're going in a new sport, you don't know anything. And when you enter the world of MMA, there's 1,001 things and more to watch out for. And he's doing it. He's jumping in, he's doing it. It's a great atmosphere. The team is also dedicated. Good team, good people around him. Camille, Radek. The new coach. So listen, I'm just proud of him. It already, he has already had a beautiful resume. He defeated Badr not once but twice, right? He destroyed Badr, and this is also. You're fighting Badr, you're going in the lion's den. Because when you fight Badr, I fought him 3 times, a lot of fans, and they're all looking at you.
Yes.
80% in the room is Badr fans, but he went in there twice, he did it, and this gives Arek also a boost. So I think Arek is the next big name to come out of Poland.
Great. One more thing about UFC. We have Aspinall, a new interim champion in heavyweight. Do you have any predictions for his possible fight with John Jones? Who's the favorite?
I think John Jones is going to beat him. Yes. Yeah, Aspinall, I don't really know him, but I saw his last fight and I was impressed. He was loose, he was fluent. There is talent there. We will see how it develops, but John Jones is John Jones. And as a former teammate of John Jones, I know some of the methods, some of the things they use to make a fighter ready. And I believe, John Jones' experience will be too much.
In one of your former interviews, you said about Alex Pereira that he's very interesting, but you don't see him dominate this division for a long time as a champion. Why?
Because he is lacking the ground skills. The wrestling, the jiu-jitsu. The moment that other fighters are going to expose him, this will open up the door for a lot of fighters, and this will also cost him confidence, which at this moment has not happened yet. But I mean, because he's training ground, he's grappling, he's wrestling, but it's still lacking the foundation. And the moment he's fighting a wrestler type, it may get exposed, and then if it gets exposed, he's in trouble.
Right. Okay.
Not to say he's talented, he's doing it right. I love his fights with Adesanya. I think he's a talented striker, but I've yet to see his grappling and his wrestling.
Okay. So one more from me. I know that in your blood, in your veins, there is a royal blood flowing. So my question is, your relatives once are used to have a crown and to dominate, to rule. Do you think that this is something that also drives you inside of you to compete, to win, to be a champion, to do something more than everybody else's do?
That is a beautiful question, and I have a beautiful answer. I do believe that the royal blood is strengthening me, and definitely is a sort of sneaky crown. And I definitely do believe that I take this energy into all the fields that I am active in. Yes, yes.
Great. Do you have any contact, any touch with your royal relatives?
Actually, I was in 2011. I was in a lunch at the Royal Palace in Netherlands.
Yeah.
So. The story is that my grandfather, Kees OVEREEM, my middle name is Kees, my mother's name is Claire, my grandfather's Kees OVEREEM. His grandfather was King Willem III.
Yeah.
So King Willem III was a very wild man. We were drinking and many girlfriends outside of the palace.
Okay.
And he generated 40 offspring.
Whoa.
Yeah, 40. And one of these offspring is my grandfather's father, Gijsbert OVEREEM. And Gijsbert got compensated from the palace. So yeah, there is wealth there, a little bit, no titles, but wealth.
Yeah.
And then Gijsbert had Kees OVEREEM, Kees had Claire, Claire had me. So there is the lineages there. And yeah, and I brought it up during the lunch, 2011. And they didn't like me bringing it up. To me, it was just like interesting thing in our family. So I was very happy to talk about it, but they didn't like it, and I was shocked. I was like, huh? Why didn't they like it? Because he's my king too. Like, and it actually changed my opinion a little bit on the royals in the Netherlands. Yeah, because it's a nice story. I'm not claiming anything. It's not that I want money or anything. I have my own money, but I just thought it was a nice story, and they were not charmed by it. I think maybe because it's a scandal, right? Because he had many children outside of the palace.
Yes, maybe.
But I don't know. It's all good. I'm very proud of my family. I'm very proud of everything actually, and it's all good.
Thank you. So the true king, a former champion, also a champion in our hearts, Alistair OVEREEM was our guest. Thank you very much, Ali. I hope to see you in January at Arek's fight.
Thank you, family.
Thank you.